J.P. Morgan allegedly declared, "Millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do." That quote speaks volumes. Exactly what do the powerful, rich and famous know about the real power of serious astrology that you don't? Coming up, my 12 secrets about the astrology of the elite.
You're turning me on. You're turning me on. The feeling was gone now, baby, yeah. Turning me
Ah, there you are. Where were we? Yes. In this video, we are going to boldly navigate beyond pop astrology, sexed up and dumbed down clickbait, sun-sign stereotypes, to unveil the best, original guide to success in life and love. Hi, I'm Sonya Roche Duncan, and this is my very first YouTube video. No, I'm not a billionaire like J.P. Morgan. That requires a very special sociopathic skill set. But I am a veteran psychological astrologer, founder of the Navigators, and author of many psychological horoscope columns across the world. I'm also a songstress and, as you now know, a whistleblower. And in true Gemini style, it is my mission to become your expert but entertaining cosmic coach and guide to the astro-intelligent lifestyle. There we are. We're settled. Glasses on. Yes, I'm in my 50s. I survived the Chiron return. Sangria in hand. Right. Number 1 secret. All the elite, politicians, royalty, the tycoons, the bankers, the athletes, everyone, they all use astrology, serious proper astrology. Don't take my word for it, Google it. Let's just say that Nancy Reagan and her husband were not the first, will not be the last, and we're just the only ones that got caught. Royalty. Well, the days of Charlemagne, and Nostradamus, and the King's astrologer may seem as if they're long past, but oh no, the tradition continues. I mean, how many more people are going to come out of the woodwork claiming to be the late Princess of Wales' favourite astrologer? Oh. So yes, you get given the sun signs and the elite use the real thing. Number 2, not all astrology or astrologers are created equal. No. Pop astrology or sun signs, star signs astrology is based solely on the position of the sun, which sign of the zodiac it was going through on the day that you were born. That's it. Psychological astrology combines the language and insight of psychoanalytical theory, chiefly Jungian, and the information from a symbolic map known as your birth map, that it is drawn for the exact moment and location of your birth. Even if you share similar details with another person, how you choose to live that potential is up to you. Some of the greatest minds in history were also astrologers. Carl Jung himself fell out with Freud, the Taurus, over his use of astrology among other esoteric things. Some might argue that psychology and psychoanalytical theory is is just astrology in a new dress. Isaac Newton, while debating the efficacy of astrology with a friend, is quoted as saying, "I, my friend, have studied it. You have not." One might say the same to the armchair aficionados. Those of us that are professionally trained are very grateful to the self-taught gurus running around YouTube spouting off about stereotypes, sexy Scorpios, sexy scary Scorpios, bouncy Saggies and boring buggers. But there really needs to be a distinction if we are to salvage anything of astrology's respect and good name in this world, especially in this new social media age. Professional astrologers have to go to school. We train. Psychological astrology is particularly complex because we have to marry two disciplines, psychoanalytical theory and classic astrology. I actually went to school. I have an honours degree in humanities, but I had to go to school again to become a psychological astrologer. You can't wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm a psychological humanistic astrologer." No. I went to the Faculty of Astrology and the Centre for Psychological Astrology, both in London, and I studied under the great, renowned Dr. Liz Green. There are some fabulous astrologers on YouTube, some even self-taught, like the great Santos Bonacci, wonderful stuff, the Mr. Astrology. And, you know, I'm not casting aspersions on all, but too many really need to learn before they preach. Also, you might like to find out that there are many types of astrology and astrologers. There's financial astrology, and I assure you all of Wall Street use those guys. Some were even banned in the UK from the bookies because they kept getting it right. And obviously the financial astrologers specialise in financial astrology. They don't do what we do. They don't focus on the psyche. They're not humanistic. There are medical astrologers, many of whom are actually bona fide MDs, who use the symbolism in your map to get greater clarity into your health. There are mundane astrologers, and they study the mundane. They do politics and big movements of that kind. Countries actually have birth maps, usually for their inception of their constitution or independence or whatever. And you'd be interested to know that America is Cancer. God bless America and the American family. We just want to give you democracy, but give us your resources. Very Cancer. Russia is a Scorpio, so we went from serfs, the feudal system, to communism. End of Tsars, extreme, extreme, extreme Scorpio. And Britain, my home country, is Capricorn, all about tradition and the financial centre of the world. Which brings us back to star signs, or rather sun signs. There are not only 12 types of people in the world. Don't be silly. Of course not. The sun sign, or what you may know as your star sign, although it is the most revealing and famous factor, is only one factor in a complete birth map. Again, drawn for the exact moment and location of your birth. Here's one of my friend. It's scary. We will have different styles of drawing maps. The sun sign is not a set pattern of behaviour or a laundry list of stereotypical characteristics. Not. Rather, the sun sign tells us about what you want. It tells us about your mindset, and I call it the prime directive. To me, it's something that we're growing towards, the qualities that we identify with and aspire to be the best of. For example, Aries. If you're an Aries, it doesn't mean that you are pushy and bolshy and selfish. You might be a very shy, retiring Aries with the moon in Pisces. No. What having the sun in Aries tells us about you, and the only thing you necessarily have in common with any other Aries, ooh, here we go, sorry about that, the Mediterranean comes to life at sunset, and you have the doggers barking and the cars going on, and everyone's sangria. So, where were we? Yes. The only thing that you share necessarily with other Aries is that you see yourself as pioneer in whatever field you're in. You're not necessarily athletics or the army, you could be a baker. Either way, you need to be first and best and a pioneer, always breaking new ground, forging ahead and leading the pack, even if you're just an armchair warrior and, you know, furious on the keyboard, you know, perhaps a social media, social justice warrior. Either way, you need to pioneer and to lead. Number 4. No one, I repeat, no one is born on the cusp. None of this, oh, well, I was born on the 22nd, so I'm a little bit saggy with a little bit of Capricorn. Absolutely not. The sun cannot be in more than one place at the same time, like any other entity. It can only be in one sign at a time. Basically, the problem is when we are doing sun sign astrology in horoscope columns, and yes, I did them, but I did them from a psychological perspective. I wanted to make a marriage between popular culture and serious, elite, down low astrology. But yes, when we write horoscope columns, we don't have the room to say, okay, well, in 1965 the sun changed into Gemini at 4 o'clock on the 22nd of May. So we round it up. All you need to know is, were you born before or after the sun changed signs? Simples. Comment below and let me know what your sign is, especially if you think you're born on the cusp. Just ask an astrologer or go into a program, put your exact time of birth in, and it'll be settled. Yeah, there'll be no more talk of that. And for the record, the sun is not less powerful when it just enters the sign. 0 degrees Taurus is 0 degrees Taurus. Not a little bit Aries, it's 0 degrees Taurus, and the sun says, bam, I just came into Taurus. So it's more powerful, not less. Thank you. Please remember that, not more costly. Number 5. I think it's 5. Yep, we're on 5. Scorpio is not the most evil, scariest and sexiest sign of the zodiac. There is no such thing.
My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
When you are considering a human being in their entirety using their complete birth map, okay, that sort of thing is just dumbed down, sexed up, clickbait. So, no. And for the record, you cannot seriously assess the potential of a relationship or compatibility between two fully formed human beings from their sun sign. Yeah? We need to look at the whole chart and assess it. And, you know, Venus and Mars give us a much better indication of actual behavior, of style, of relating. So, again, ask an astrologer. Yeah. Yes, you know, we can have fun, and we will have fun with, you know, just a few vague flirty sort of stuff. Generally how the signs react to each other from a position of their mindset, who they think they are. For example, Cancer thinks that they're the most nurturing and loving people on the planet, because, as I've said, the sun sign is a goal, something that you are becoming, something that you are striving towards, and while you do so, you teach the rest of the zodiac how to do that, how to get there, but you're not there yet. Okay? No, you're more instinctively, emotionally, your moon sign striving towards your sun sign. So back to Cancer. Cancer sees themselves as already the most nurturing people on the planet, sensitive and loving, even though that's actually what they're trying to get to. So when they buck up against, say, an Aquarian, who think they are the most logical, the most reasonable people, Vulcans on the planet, and have a great deal of trouble with that extremely infantile shadow, but we'll talk about that another time. Yeah, you'll soon start to see links and cards that will direct you to when I go into each of these things that I've mentioned in great detail. But yes, should a Cancer, viewing themselves as misloving, buck up on an Aquarian who thinks of himself as the cyborg, as transhuman, yeah, there's gonna be problems. Yeah. Of that we can be sure. However, when we're being serious, no. We really need to understand the nature of the two people involved separately before we start to look at how they, you know, what the strengths and the weaknesses of their potential union. Okay. Number 6. Well, I don't have to say this again yet. You have a whole birth map with a sun sign, a rising sign, a moon sign, a Venus sign, a mid-heaven. But the element of your sun sign may not necessarily be the dominant lens in your entire birth map. All sorts of things running around in there, telling us a lot symbolically. So I don't have to belabor that any further, do I? No. And in terms of behavior, the ascendant or the rising sign is much more useful if we want something that's indicative of your actual behavior. Yeah, much more reliable than the sun sign, which is more like your mindset. Okay, I don't have to go on about that any further. Please put your rising sign, if you know it, in the comment section below so that I know who I'm talking to. And yeah, like and subscribe if you want to go further in our journey towards an astro-intelligent lifestyle and the real deal psychological astrology. Which brings us to number 7, the elements. Oh, it's very tiresome when people try to do the same thing with the astrological elements as they do with the sun signs. No, not all water signs are bleeding hearts, rushing around nurturing and crying. No, not all air signs are cold as ice, cyborgs. No. And not all earth signs are boring. No. And dull. No. The element in astrology tells us about the kind of lens through which you filter your experience of daily life. For example, a water sign, and the water signs are, of course, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Yeah, each of them very different. But again, soon there'll be a card and I'll go through all of the elements and all about them for you. So stay tuned, subscribe, click the bell and you'll be alerted once I get to the subject that's, you know, dearest to your heart. So, for example, a water sign, they filter and process information about the world around them primarily via their feelings, how they feel about it. Yeah? That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going around being loving. Most water signs do think of themselves in very caring terms, but they may or may not be that way in actuality. The rest of the chart would finish the story, but one thing for sure we know is that they will actually filter information, process experiences primarily through how they feel about it. Okay, so no more stereotypes about the element. Look, it's driving me to sangria. Pop your element in the comment section below, so and tell me why you do identify with the stereotypes around your element, or why you don't. And it was one of the misconceptions that was putting you off any use of astrology. Number 8. How very fitting. The hounds from hell are barking. Welcome to evening on the Mediterranean. And yes, how synchronous that we are at number 8, which is the 8th house is ruled by Pluto, or Hecate, Lord or Lady of Fate. We've come to the big one: fate versus free will. Predictions. Okay. Back in medieval times, the horary astrologers were famed for the accuracy of their predictions, especially for royalty. Now, well, since the 20th century, professional astrologers do not, well, humanistic ones, do not predict events. Okay? We forecast, like a weather forecast. When we look at your complete whole personal map and compare it to the movement of the planets, the symbolic movements of the planets, we can get an idea, a picture of the themes, challenges, or positive vibrations, what have you, that are coming up for you. Yeah, it's a bit like a cosmic weather forecast, like I say. For example, if I see Saturn in the sky, symbolically making a conjunction to the planet of Venus in your chart, this gives us an indication that you are due for a serious relationship issue or restructure. That might be getting married, getting divorced. That might be the boss from hell finally giving you that promotion. We don't know exactly what will happen, not using astrology anyway, but we understand the themes involved in this particular period of your journey. How that symbolism is manifested in your life depends on a lot of factors, including your relationship to restructure or to Saturn. Ah, nice cars going past. Okay, never mind, we'll ignore them. Your circumstances. I mean, for example, if you're 105, it's unlikely that you're getting married under this particular set of symbolic indicators, and more likely that you will have someone, a loved one, pass from your life or something of that ilk. So this whole thing about astrological predictions, don't let that put you off forecasting, yeah, which is a bit of a torch in the dark, and can really help you swim with the tide, with the cosmic tide, instead of swimming upstream. And certain lessons or issues that are due can be a lot less difficult if you cooperate with them. Yeah? And a professional can help you to understand where you are in your journey at any given moment. Well, to a degree. Which leads us nicely into number 9, again synchronously, because the 9th house, ruled by Jupiter, is all about the future. Predictive sun sign horoscopes, by and large, are rubbish. Yes, I did them, and I will do them again for you, but from a psychological perspective. And I will not be predicting tall, dark, handsome crypto coming your way tomorrow, but I will be giving you the heads up. And I do early, middle and late forecast, but we'll get to that. There'll be a card. Why we divide up the zodiac signs into what we call decans. Yeah, first third, middle third, last third, because the planets that have big symbolic impact move quite slowly and takes time to get through the sign. So what's good for an early Scorpio is not good for a gandering late Scorpio necessarily. Okay, now having said that, there are some fantastic professionals like Rick Levine, respect, who actually do more of an astrological weather forecast, the cosmic climate, yeah, and it's very, very valuable work. However, for serious forecasting personally to you, I recommend something else, and I'll be linking to that very, very soon. Patience, all good things come to those who wait. Number 10. Oh, the evening's getting late, and we're in the old man of the zodiac, Capricorn's house. Number 10. Nature versus nurture. Ah, yes, that old chestnut. Yeah. Are we predestined from birth, or do we have free will? Well, that's an age-old question that theologians and everyone else have yet to answer conclusively. In psychological astrology, the general consensus is, or at least was when I studied, that we come into this world with a basic blueprint, really. Don't ask me why, but that map seems to be extremely revealing about propensities, aptitudes, challenges that we come into from birth. However, nurture plays a great big part in the growth of any organism. I mean, if you're a Aries kind of apple tree and someone stamps all over the seed, you're going to grow up to be a very distorted, twisted kind of apple tree, and probably have great difficulty in blossoming to your full glory and the potentiality that is symbolized in your map. If you're watered and fertilized and spoken to and music is played while you're growing, then it'll be a lot easier for you to grow into exactly who you should be. So that's very, very interesting. Again, it comes up against this idea that Aries predetermined set of characteristics and behavioral traits. No, but let's just say it's an awesome blueprint if interpreted well and professionally and sensitively, that I think, yeah, could be, is, yeah, the best life hack in the cosmos. And again, the elite will not be seen without theirs. Okay, quickly before the dogs, the hounds from hell starts again. Number 11, the void, of course, moon. Now, you may have heard that phrase bandied about and just not had any clue what that's about, yeah? Well, for reasons unknown, and I'm not the best teacher of technicalities, I will be recommending other great astrologers who are fabulous at that for you to study under, should you so wish. But basically, at various times, random times that we actually have recorded in our ephemeris, the moon will leave one sign and kind of pause before it officially goes into another. Bizarre. And during that pause, which can be 2 minutes or a day and a half, okay, not a day and a half, but hours upon hours, yeah, anything that is initiated during that period, or anything that you hear about for the first time, for reasons again unknown, tends to mess up or not come to fruition in the way you expected or wanted. So, and the elite and all astrologers, we use this tool. We avoid doing anything intuitory or new under those periods of time. I can't begin to tell you the countless launches of businesses, albums, all sorts of things that I have witnessed knowing it's a void moon, and sadly, what a burden, knowing that that particular project will not turn out as the initiator wanted. It's yeah, it's unfortunate. And I've had myself fantastic news that was so promising and exciting that I knew was going to come to nothing, as we say. Now, the void moon does have its uses. Of course, you can go back over and revisit and recheck certain things, and as many astrologers before me have pointed out, you can do your tax returns or post them, and hopefully, usually, it will come to nothing. Secret number 12, which I'm sure most of you have actually heard of, and that is Mercury retrograde. Again, I'll leave the technicalities to those who specialize in those things, but basically, at times, several times a year, Mercury appears to be traveling backwards in the heavens. During these periods, it's best to do things with the preface re, yeah? So, revisit, recheck, rewind, cast, never mind, where were we? Revisit, recheck, rewind, anything that means retracing your steps, be it a project, a relationship that's new, or something of that ilk. We don't know why, but Mercury, Hermes, god of communication, alchemy, and crossroads, yeah? When the trickster decides to go backwards, things just mess up. Computers crash, cell phones get lost or get flushed down the toilet and no longer work. All sorts of things happen. Now, obviously, Mercury can be retrograde for weeks at a time, so you're not going to put your entire life on hold and buy nothing and do nothing. But it would be a good idea to double check, triple check anything that you are doing that's important during this period, and make sure that you've dotted the I's and crossed the T's, yeah, and make sure that everybody is clear about what is to happen. Communication needs to be triple checked. So there you go, 12 secrets of elite astrology. And finally, it's sunset, time to sip some sangria. But, well, this is the part where I'm supposed to say like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want more secrets and the keys to the Astro intelligent lifestyle. But because this is my very first YouTube video, I can't go. Yes, I made it into the social media age. Thank you, Nick at Time Savers in Greece. I can't go without a very special thank you to those who made this transition that much easier. Okay, special thanks to the Pisces genius Kendall St. Charles, otherwise known as Brooklyn Blue. The caring, truly caring Cancer, Chrysaline Karazan at Beyond Black and White. My Vina love, lovely Vina at Vina Entertainment. We're going to have a lot of fun. Soraya, you know who you are. She shall have no surname. And a special shout out to Simone56, Isadora Storm, Eve Sharon Moore, Khadija Nassif, Halima Anderson, and two Leo Lionesses who inspired me from afar. Now I'm going to say, like, subscribe, hit the bell for more of the Astro Intelligent Lifestyle. Blessings. See you in Facebook.